What up, folks? I'm ultrazillatoys, and today I have a review of the Super 7 Super Kaiju Destroyah 1995. There's only one Destroyah. And it's come to the Super Kaiju line. That's right, part of the new wave of Super Kaiju from Super 7, the Target exclusives. Minifigures, kind of, we are also getting a Godzilla 2 with that. So yeah, pretty cool. I at the time of this recording, I actually do not have Godzilla 2 in hand. It's on its way. I mean, one pre-order, but Target decided to ship things all separately. It is what it is. Also have the comic book version of Godzilla 1989 that came, but you know, we'll get to that in another time. I haven't opened that one yet. But I felt like doing this one because, you know, it's a little unique. It's Destroyah. It's fun, I guess. But I've been kind of, you know, wishy-washy with this line. It's been okay at best. You know, definitely more expensive than they're worth, in my opinion. And pretty much everybody's opinion. Well, let's see if Destroyah changes that. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. And here's Destroyah out of the package. And you know what? I actually like this guy. It's pretty neat. Let's start with the articulation, then we'll get that out of the way. The jaw opens and closes. The head can turn. The wings can go up and down. They're attached to the top of his shoulder. The little wings, I was going to say super wings, on the bottom. The shoulders can move a little bit outward. There is a hinge there. But, you know, because of the way it is, you're not getting a lot. But, you know, a little bit helps. You do have a hinge at the elbow, and you can rotate that. And then the hands, I believe, rotate. Oh, maybe they don't. Are the hands static? They may be static, guys. Yeah, they are. Look at that. Weird. I don't know why they did that. But, hey, it is what it is. The legs can go out a little bit as well. They go forward. They go back. The knee bends. Man, really? No wrist articulation? Hinge at the foot. You can rock it a little bit. And the tail moves like that. There is a little bit of a bendy in there. So, yeah, and it's not terrible except for the hands. But whatevs. You know, it is what it is. Because, honestly, I do dig this guy anyway. I haven't been a huge fan of this line. But I like it. This one I like. He's got a nice yellow horn. He's also got a nice yellow middle here. Both look pretty decent. It's done in kind of like a maroonish, brownish, reddish plastic. Not much in terms of shading that I could see. Maybe very, very little. But there's a lot of grooves in it, so it creates natural shading, you know, depending on the lighting. I talk about that a lot. Then you got all the spikes and the nails, and they're okay, you know, they're not perfect, as you can see in spots, but they do the job fine, you know. It's a good color, you know, it's not bad. You have little spikes over there. It's the same color for the teeth, which are very, very gnarly, maybe not the greatest either, paint-wise. You can see, when you zoom in more, you can see it, but he's a pretty gnarly dude, but, you know, it is kind of sloppy. The tongue is done a little bit darker, it looks like. The eyes are done in yellow. The head sculpt in total is actually pretty decent. I feel like you do see a little bit of a lighter shade in certain spots, so maybe there is some sort of shading in there. There's a little bit of orange there. Maybe that's the color they use a little bit here and there. Because, you know, you want to use the same colors just for cost's sake. Colors in here look good on the wings. Honestly, very nicely done. I like the sculpt of the wings. I like the sculpt of the shoulders here, too. I gotta say, I like the sculpt in general on this guy. I think it's actually decent. Yeah, I mean, look at it. I think this is a nice shape for Destroyah. The tail is, like I said, a bendy wire. Nothing going on here in terms of other color, but it blends nicely, so that's good. The back here, dorsalish fin, looks pretty good. Armor, whatever you want to call it. All of it looks good. Honestly, I do think this sculpt is honestly really nice. Pretty well done. You know, like, again, you know, some minor paint things here and there, like a little bit of the choppiness on the horn as well. But otherwise, I don't know. I'm digging it, and you know, these guys are solid little chunks for, you know, the $35 you're paying. Which again, yeah, it is a little pricey. Like I've said this, but even if you drop the price down to like 30, you're gonna get a lot less, hate. Because I've seen the hate on this line just because of the price. The figures aren't bad. They're almost like this kind of, semi SD looking. They are scrunched down. Let's not like these. None of these guys look like this what they're supposed to. So there is like a little scrunching down of like what they are. But I think they work for what they are supposed to be, and I do like this one. I think this one's pretty good, guys. I got nothing here, nothing bad. It's, a couple little, paint imperfections, but I really like the sculpt, and that's carrying it through for me, so there you go. Pretty good. And for your size comparisons, first up here is Destroyah with the recently, or really just finished reviewing, TMNT X Godzilla line, and you know what? These scale pretty decently together. Here's Destroyah with the altered beast figures from Jackson. Actually, these scale very nicely too. Here it is with Bandai's Godzilla action figure line burning Godzilla and their Destroyah, and the Super Kaiju Destroyah destroys this Bandai one. This thing is very bad. Very, very bad. These two scale better than these two. And last but certainly not least, here's Destroyah with Burning Godzilla, and they scale okay. This is the Super Kaiju Burning Godzilla. But I think it scales better with their Godzilla -1. Yeah, these first ones were really, I don't know, not that good. But this one I thought was really good. And yeah, like I like these two scaling together a lot more. And my final thoughts, I gotta say, this is my favorite one thus far of this line. I think it's pretty good. Sculpt is excellent. I like the proportions too. Like I said, these all have kind of like a weird, like, scrunched SD, like, not total SD, like midway SD type of feel to him. But I like this one a lot. I think this is really, really cool. Previously, I liked Godzilla -1 the best. This one has overtaken it. I think this is much better. Very cool. I really like this. Some little paint imperfections here and there, but overall, it's a solid figure in my opinion. And there you go. That's my review. Hope you dug it. You can get yours at Target right now. There's even a deal going on this week, so do take advantage of that. And let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.